From one studio to the other.
Hold on. Blessings, everyone, and thanks for joining. Welcome to This Morning Live here in an Elite Jamaica official channel. We're joined today with Robert Whitley out of the UK. Robert Whitley is a businessman and a real estate mogul. All right, but most of all, he's a Jamaican. All right, so he's here to reason with us. We're actually speaking about the aspect of crime and violence in Jamaica and how it's affecting tourism and persons abroad. Trying to get feedback from one studio to the next, from one country to the next. All right, so guys, pleasant viewing and thanks for joining again. So we could introduce yourself to these persons.
Yes, pleasant good morning. It's now morning in England and it's nearly 1:15. And my name is Robert Whiteley, and it's a pleasure to be on your show, Alex, and to hear all your guests.
Bless him. All right. So, peeps, just getting set up with Garden. Thanks for joining. Julie Tupper, thanks for joining. Stan Live, thanks for joining. Guys, you know that most of you all who watch the show, you guys are overseas, and hearing about crime and violence in Jamaica and feedback, really, it's like sometimes it's heartbreaking as to the fact that persons who are from Jamaica go overseas, them working at the pool and all of that, coming back home, you have to work if you are able to come back home and enjoy life and enjoy hard earned money or whatever you get, So guys, Mr. Whitley is here. Correct me again for the name, Whitley or White?
Whiteley, it's okay. It's
all
cool.
Right. Yeah, so Mr. Whiteley is here just for us to discuss that because he's in the UK, I'm in Jamaica, and he has done this topic on his YouTube channel. That's I'm not remembering the name of that either. Never write it down. Anyway, he's got a YouTube channel. He will tell you about that soon, so you get all of that information.
As a matter of fact, I've just finished filming as well. And to have a counter argument, today I was speaking about the positive side of Jamaica, because I also saw your video on why should people visit Jamaica. But first, let me say that there has been a lot of stigma attached to Jamaica for the last few years. Whilst I was in Jamaica only 18 months, 2 years ago, I could see the tension from people, business people, etc., going through. And I know that it's not the country that I once knew 15 or 20 years ago. Crime seems to radically take over the country because it was centralized mainly in Kingston in the Garrison area. But now that you find that it's moved out to, this morning I was reading the news about Black River. They have gangs and things like that. In Montego Bay, they have people brandishing guns, having gun parties instead of having parties with women. They're using the gun as their woman. I mean, I cannot believe that Jamaica has come to this. And I'm thinking, how and when did this all happen? This has happened over a period of years of total erosion from one prime minister to the other. I'm not blaming them entirely because a lot of the blame has to be the way these people were grown up, fatherless children. We're not going to mince with words. We're going to hit it right where it is, because a lot of these people did not get the background grooming that they should have had. So we're not just going to blame the government for everything. The government is a contributing factor, but they cannot be blamed for everything. A lot of the blame lies with the way these people are brought up. So
a lot of the blame really lies with us for real.
So just moving on from what we're seeing, especially with people coming from abroad, we still have to have faith in the country, because if we don't have faith, then all hope is lost. So I'm glad that you have your program and you can hear a broad spectrum of viewers who can voice their opinion. You know, I was just watching last night somebody doing a development in St. Elizabeth, for example, and the whole entire 200 and something acres have been sold out to investors abroad. So what does that tell me? That tells me
Your audio is stuck.
of each country's implore the returning resident with incentive to return home, i.e., for example, the duty that they're supposed to pay in cars. You can't have returning resident who's worked 50 or 60 years in the cold, and then when they come to retire to spend their money, you're telling them to pay nearly 100% for duty of their cars. That should go. They should have zero tax rate to
True,
pay. And
true.
also you should give them incentive for coming in to do business. When someone has to open a company, I know I'm going off a bit, but when someone has to open a company in Jamaica, why do they have to go through lawyers to charge them $100,000 and $200,000 to open a company? A company should be online. You know, you just go online, fill out the registration, and it costs maybe around $150, $200. And it makes it so much easier to do business. You know, and going back to the crime, Alex, I think that the government must do away with this garrison era, as I said in my video, flatten these places and renovate the places so that the people can change their concept of where they were and start transforming themselves.
True, true. You know, we need like a re-education in Jamaica. Persons need to be re-educated as to the values of life, you know, and how to go about it. We need to have a corporate mindset about life. Uh, in, are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay, we need to have a corporate mindset about life. In Jamaica, it's I'm not. It's. I think it's being passed down through traditions. Persons born, them see something happen, and them want to do the same thing. There's not enough drive. There's not enough, like enough drive to really teach the younger persons values of life. You know, like the basic respect, the basic good morning, the basic if them say good morning, if you go up in a group, a shop or a group of people, them feel like they are less than a man if they say good morning. Come up and say, yo, boss, what going on? You know, just
Yeah.
them little aspects of things, it really have a lot to do with crime or violence what go on in Jamaica. And as you were saying about starting a company online, yeah, you see, we have a lot of great minds in Jamaica, but we're not harnessing the information. We're not get the right persons in the right places to do stuff that's supposed to be done. Most of the persons in Jamaica right now, they're actually doing stuff just for fame or money, you know,
Yes, they
for
are.
gain, you know. And it's just that we need more leaders who are more interested in actually helping the people apart from getting rich. And that's what most of our leaders are looking at fame, or them look on TV and what them can make, understand? And there's so much that needs to be changed in Jamaica, especially like, all right, for a fact, for example, in Jamaica, the fact that persons are the news always reports or know where are the problem communities. I know there should be strategies that could be implemented that could, you know, really try to weed out the bad elements out of those communities. We know them are left and going other places. But if just imagine COVID came and the government showed that they are able to control the country to a certain
Correct.
extent. So why
Correct.
aren't they doing that when it comes to crime and violence? I've seen where this man in disrespect a police officer and they found him the other day. They said they were gonna arrest him on Monday and they arrested him on Monday. Why can't it be like that? Why can't they be more like proactive when it
Yes.
comes to crime and violence? The police and the leaders in Jamaica, they are more reactive. Reactive. they try to find how to they try to find solutions to problems, not how to stop or try to avoid the problem from happening. You understand?
Sure.
Your audio is a bit low. I'm not sure why,
Yeah.
but I guess the audience is hearing it properly. Let me know if you're hearing
I'm
Mr.
here.
Whiteley
I'm
properly.
hearing you loud and clear, and you touched on the basic
Okay,
principle.
I'm asking the audience if they're
Yeah.
hearing
Oh, sorry.
you properly. Okay. All right. So yeah, you see, in Jamaica, to start a business in Jamaica, it takes so much, and that's because of the same thing, the short-term thing in Jamaica, where it's expected that a person will try to forfeit the system or try to go around the system to actually do stuff. And I think that's why there is so many processes involved in doing business in Jamaica. You know, sometimes we can't keep blaming the structure of the system or the person
That's correct.
who are in charge of running the systems. We need to look at our actions toward the system and why we are taking certain actions towards us as a people. You know, it's always there's always another way. There's always a reason why stuff happens, and sometimes we just have to look on the thing from an honest point of view and say no, that we are citizens sometimes are like blamed for certain situations. You know.
I think, Brother Alex, what you mentioned there, I would just like to pick up on the basic respect. You remember when you were growing up in Jamaica, those were simple things that we do it effortlessly. Everybody we pass, we say good morning, sir. Sorry, good morning, madam. You know, going to school, we know that our teacher is in charge. We wouldn't challenge our teacher. That behavior now is almost gone. It's gone from that basic
Done.
principles. You know, everybody's just out for what they can get. And I don't know how we're going to start to change that back to the original way of living. And I don't think it's money, because
No,
it's only
it's
5%
not
of the
money.
people in Jamaica have money, and they seclude themselves away from the 95% of people. And that's a point I want to pick up on, Alex, if I may. I find that that type of living, how could someone live and almost imprison themselves? I know away from the rest of the people and call that life. Some people, they just live up maybe with Stony Hill, Smoky Vale, wherever you, and they only come out for shopping and right back up the hill. That in a way is a form of imprisonment of the mind. And I just find that that way of life is not living neither. You got to share what you've got with the rest of the people around you. You can't be selfish to know that you alone gonna want it all. That is a mentality, I think, that also exacerbates violence in Jamaica. Because when one person see a man with a big house, and next to him you see a man with a little tin rustic house, that doesn't look good, does it? You know, and that's the diversity that I see in Jamaica society. It's so huge. There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground at all there. It's either you're there or you're there. And that makes the man if a man is hungry all the time, he's going to get angry when he sees that type of wealth and he can't even afford to feed his children to. I'm looking at it from a different perspective now as well. I'm not accepting that they should commit crimes and be violent, but I'm saying that we must change that perception that that person has it all and the other person has nothing.
True, true. Some of your audio there just went, but
Sorry.
yeah. You see, on that point, we on the point of segregation in Jamaica, where the rich stay amongst the rich and the poor stay amongst the poor. There are too many lines. There are too many like stigmas because poor people don't trust rich people. Rich people not trust poor people. Still the poor will try to exploit the rich, and the rich try to use the poor. Like Jamaica is so confusing. But like
Correct.
look into so many. I can't see a reason for stuff being happen. I can't see a reason for stuff that happen. And it's really hard to really come up with a solution, a one-time solution, you know. As
For
we
real.
talked about the other day, like one of the solutions is if the father then go back and be a mother. Like it's something that the mother
Yeah,
advocate
yeah.
for. You know, too many fatherless kids in Jamaica, too many fatherless sons, you know, too many females growing up a male, you know. The matriarchal household where a female is actually teaching a boy to become a man. You know,
Can
them
you
thing
believe
they
that?
cause a lot, you know, it has a lot of feedback, you know. And then like with a father missing in the household,
Sorry
okay, your
about
camera
that.
just went. Like with a father missing in the household, a child is always
I don't.
looking for that father figure. I'm gonna try to be that person that was missing, you know. And like we really need, as I said yesterday, some systems just need to be broken down and started over because it's really hard to fix. You understand? We need a re-education campaign in Jamaica. Like persons need to be re-educated as the facts of life. You
Correct.
know, persons get up every day, them know say they like them for wake up, them for eat, them for drink, them for go back at them bed. It's like they're just living subconsciously day by day. You know, crime and violence, it might be the most spoken about thing in Jamaica, but it's not. Like another main thing will mess up Jamaica. It
No,
didn't
it
even stem
isn't.
from stuff will mess up Jamaica. It has stemmed from all of the suffering and the stuff them up in Jamaica. You know. So in order for stem that, we need to take a look at like current affairs in Jamaica, like the things that the how are Jamaicans being affected. Like the persons in charge need to take a more person approach, go into the communities. As I said the other day, sometimes even with projects in communities or with political projects, they would like say, okay, this is for Northwest, this is for Southwest. They don't go inside the communities and see what's really needed, but still they hand out a monetary package to the MP in charge and say, well, that's that. In the schools, it's the same thing. There's no one who actually goes into the school. I try to get liaison with the school to find what's going on in the school so that they can provide what is
Hmm.
required of the school. I really think that in Jamaica in a time like this, even if it's not been happening all over the world, in Jamaica in a time like this, a company like Digicel and with the Jamaica Teachers Association, them should have come with that, them should have come up with something a long time where the kids them can actually get some tablet and have internet in the schools. You
For real.
understand? Even them thing that we need to look at the future. I think that a part of the re-education where we need to try to fix the future from the small minds, because at the end of the day, that is what they did to make it be like this. They program small minds with commercials and all of them, smoke cigarette and all of them things until every country start adopt that lifestyle until you know get out of hand. So if we're gonna change that, I think we have to start from right here, from the younger folks. You know?
Yeah, no, yeah, what you're saying is correct. It's re-education. Re-education is the key to any human minds. Because even when I'm in Jamaica, I find nobody reads anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
someone
No,
just
I was saying nobody reads anymore. When you go inside of a house, I remember 15 years ago, when you go inside a house,
hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right, go ahead, please.
yeah, yeah,
Some work go on for the out.
yeah,
Why we have
yeah. You
shut, you know?
mentioned re-education, and I was just elaborating a bit to say re-education is a key because the people of now, the youngster, do not read right across the board, not only Jamaica, everywhere in the UK, you find them. The libraries are empty. The people spend give so much money, taxpayers' money, for having libraries. I don't know about in Jamaica, but here you find that it's the people from Africa, Poland, these people who have an insatiable appetite for reading, who use the library. The younger blacks, you hardly see them in the library. And I would imagine it's the same for Jamaica, because if you don't read, you don't know what's going on in the world.
If
You
you
know,
don't
you
read, you
can't be
don't know
just
what's going
watching,
on. For real.
you know. And I think what you say, total re-education, to package it that every child needs to get back to basic. Because when we were in Jamaica, you had to learn the basic of 3 R's. And now I look at these children and it almost saddens you to see everybody, all they want, Kentucky, McDonald's, this, you see them lining up to go to these places, coming out of school or colleges all over the world to eat these type of food. And they don't know that a healthy body is a healthy mind. You know,
Healthy
when
body
we
is a
were
healthy
growing up,
mind.
we had to walk to school. Now a lot of these youngsters are being driven to school. You know, I mean, we're touching all different aspects. And they're driven to school, and when they go to school, they're buying food. Nobody educate them in having vitamins or fruits or vegetable. They're just buying anything and eating it. And that covers education as well as the normal education. You have to educate yourself in its entirety to be able to know what
Going
is
to
going
school,
on.
normally they would inform you that you should eat like an egg in the morning or a ripe banana, or you'd have
Correct.
that being sold. When me I go primary
Or an
school, we used to see them
orange.
something there. All right. No, just as them wake up, they must see the commercial for the fast foods. You
Yeah.
know, just fast food, and it has a lot to do with our kids not learning. You know, because
It
as you are
is.
saying, it's education, and in the school, once they reach on the school compound, they should be eating healthy. They should be taught to eat healthy. But I guess that's not part of the syllabus. You
Yeah.
see? So and then upper class persons, they have the may not eat bread mentality, where they're saying they're not being affected because their kids are being taught the etiquette of life. Them know the them know all of them things, so they're not really interested in other persons learning. You understand? So it's like they are not being affected, so them not their kids are okay, so they're not really teach another person child that. And it really bad, really sad.
I find that element there. It's a colonial mentality that it's hard to 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 drain or to annihilate from, because it's almost ingrained in the people that they still have that mentality to say, even skin color. We're moving on a bit. When we grew up in Jamaica, we never even know anything about brown skin. This we just everybody just play together and do what they have together, right or wrong.
Right, right.
No, they have this the, people getting using different cream. This a DJ is doing that, singing about brown skin. It's a total eroded society now, and we got to get that out and get back to the basic of how we were in order to improve our society.
True, true.
Yeah, man. You
So
know.
Garden, well, and Garden is saying that helping the children doesn't help the current situation. We have to somehow change the current fact that our government abuses their position continuously. Starts there also.
Yeah, he has a point, but I don't want to go and blame government all the time, because no matter what the wind sail, every family have to set their sail. And if you set your sail depending on the government to change your direction, then I think that you'll be going in the wrong direction. You know, you have to set your sail with your home and follow the laws then of the Bible rather than a political government. That's a
True,
spiritual point that I would like to say to the gentleman.
true, true. We need for that's the next point. We need more spirituality in the thing. Like persons are every sort of media, from what I realize, is driving you away from religion. Taking religion to your fingertip is actually taking religion out of the world too, because a part of the whole aspect of religion is like, you know, coming, it's good for our brethren and brethren to reason together or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. We need to
Yes.
have, you know, but
Yeah.
and in your own soul with religion and all of that, it's changed and it's like, you know, get the everything is being focused in one direction as far as I see. It's
No, I get the
focused on
support.
changing the lifestyle of us as human beings. Like we need to re-educate our people, but we're already being re-educated as to how to live.
Yeah.
I will not even
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I may step off of the point just a little bit. I've been telling persons that with COVID measures, the COVID measures that were implemented, these are measures that will stay, whether or not COVID is here. Social distancing, you have to, well, the mask, we should have been wearing masks a long time because the place we have
Yes.
pollution, air pollution. But the social distancing, the amount of persons can travel in a vehicle, the amount of persons can be in a building at once. These rules that were implemented will stay, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, religion is ingrained in us because humans were made to roast worship someone or something. Like you see, from ever since the Bible are, I do believe in the Bible. It's a great
Mhm.
book. Yeah, I believe it's the book that really guide your footsteps, to teach you how to actually
Correct.
teach you humility and all of that, to teach you the qualities of
Correct.
life. Uh, I really do believe that we were meant to even give thanks to somebody for life, which is the
Mhm.
creator. You understand? I'm just speaking generally because I know
Yeah,
persons are
sure.
from different denominations on the chat. Generally, as pertaining to this comment, where religion is ingrained in us because humans were made to worship someone or something. You know, religion is being like we had the dumbing down on education. Now we're also having a dumbing down on religion also. In some countries, you find where churches are being affected really bad. More time I wonder, say, are really COVID why them really do this, or is it something that's in an agenda? Because there is an agenda that every country works from, you know.
Mhm.
But I don't know, I still can't. I've always tried to understand the whole thing going on. Why, since not even, I'm not even gonna say since 2020, but since 2021, it's like a whole change. Sometimes I'm wondering if things that are happening are actually being done by paid professionals, like by people who get paid to do the thing, them strategists and like, you know, because it's done so neat, it's done so like, then we're not here, nobody being caught. We don't know who are do the things them. The same thing with the COVID numbers again. Like, I'm not even sure if the numbers are correct at times because the amount of cases that you're finding in a day, yet still there is no one that knows any of these people, you know?
No one knows
Jamaica really
anyone
I
who's
said that like
died.
where the people them come from because nobody know nobody will have COVID. When COVID just came, you would like person that say, oh, my cousin or my auntie or a co-worker, they would literally tell you that, you know, there's a cluster at the call center or there's a cluster
Yes.
at courts or wherever. No, they're just adding numbers and we now know where the numbers are from. You know, sometimes I wonder if it's a scare tactic.
What's the numbers now in Jamaica, approximately for COVID and
The
the death?
number, the COVID numbers,
Yeah.
hold on, let me get that.
So that's a very good topic as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the numbers
Yeah.
to see where. Yeah, them a cut down one tree outside. So
Okay.
that's why you're hearing all of that.
Because the numbers here, as you know, it's increased rapidly because England is one of the country that has been hit by it because we have over 100,000 people dead. You
Wow.
know, yeah, over 100,000. And I'll say this to the viewers: I've had the first vaccine.
Oh, you got your vaccine already?
Yes, yes, I had my
Okay.
vaccine around a month ago, and I'm having the second one in April on the 30th. Because, as I said, it's a good topic to cover because when you look at the scientific evidence of everything, you've got to cover yourself against any ailment if you can. It's not to say that you won't catch it. The key in having the vaccine is that it will not be a full-blown COVID and it will damper it so you won't have to be hospitalized or anything like that. So I took that notion in having the vaccine. You know, I read
Okay,
all the, sorry, go on.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I took that notion to do the research on it and to see the advantage and disadvantages of it.
Okay, the
So I had it.
disadvantages and the advantages. All right.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get this to close to something. Just a minute, guys.
Sure.
Viewers, I'm really sorry about the background audio as we're having some work done. So there's a little bit of noise in the background, sometimes sort of distracting. All right, back to what we're saying now.
Yes, I was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that I ended off to saying that I took the notion to having the vaccine because I looked at the advantages and the disadvantage of it. And the advantage of it far outweigh the disadvantage.
Okay. So you might get like a little pain or something as a side effect, but then it works.
Yes, I did. I got a
Okay.
slight headache for the second day and feeling a little bit fluey. But after taking 2 paracetamol and thing, everything just went away nicely, and I'm feeling as young and fit as ever.
Okay. So that's the easy. Jamaica insiders said it's 27,465 cases in Jamaica right now.
Oh, 27 tons. Yeah, that's a lot for it,
You know,
considering
and
it's
they
under
have
3
got
million people.
50,000 vaccines yesterday.
50,000 people been vaccinated.
50,000 AstraZeneca came in the island yesterday.
Oh, okay,
First.
okay. Yeah, that's the one I had.
So I'm wondering if it's like 50,000 single doses of vaccine or 50,000 pack of vaccine or only like 12.
That's a good question. That's a very good question, because each person has to have 2 doses. So
Okay.
that may be something to investigate. And I think that is the better one of the vaccines, because that's the one I had. You don't have a choice, but that's the one. It so happened to where I live. That's the one I had.
Okay, that is AstraZeneca. That's what you said.
Yes.
Okay. That's the one that came here. Another point is that yesterday morning we were actually discussing this about the influenza virus in the UK, in the States.
Right.
Ever since COVID, there has been like a major reduction in influenza cases, because there are persons going in to the doctors, to the hospital, to the health centers with a common cold or the influenza virus, and they are being labeled as COVID positive. So because of that, we're finding a rise in the amount of cases, but we're finding a drop in the flu virus cases. And like them people, see that, like them look on that and say, well, there are some mistake diagnosis being done. Because that's clear to see. If although AstraZeneca is a flu medication still,
Yes, it is.
And that could be the case, that more persons taking the vaccine whenever they take the flu shots right down. But I just think that most of these people going into the hospital with flu symptoms, they are being diagnosed as being COVID positive, COVID-19
they're
positive.
labeled. But and it's strange how all of a sudden, from the vaccine has come out, everything has been watered down now. You hardly hear of a lot of hype about COVID anymore.
True.
Because and the British is so elitist. They're the first one to get the vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the first world country, they are the first one to get it. So you see how everything they do, they negotiate for their people first. And that is something that we must look at with the British people. Don't care how much they rape and pillage other country, they're still making sure their infrastructure is in place. their
True.
hospitalization is taken care of. And I want to touch on the point, when they moved out of Jamaica after independence, they should have made sure that all the infrastructure are in place before they left. That leads me to that point, because I don't see Britain as a country who wants to help. And we should be looking definitely not to have an ambassador in Jamaica, because what is the purpose? What is the purpose?
No
They
reason.
leave when they left the country. The other day I was so happy when I saw the train. I know I'm moving from one thing to the other. When I saw the train line and that new train, I was really I was proud to see Jamaicans have retained the
True.
train line.
History being reignited, being relived.
Reunited. The British should have done that. They should have fixed
True.
all the
Let me
roads,
let me
all the
just
train
touch
stations.
let me just touch one topic here. All right. Winnie Thomas said, my concern is for years they cannot find a cure for AIDS and cancer, and our vaccine can make in less than a year. No, Winnie Thomas, what we need to understand first and foremost is that the AIDS virus and cancer, those are two, if not like them have a 98% chance of being irreversible. You see me, those are body eating viruses. Both of them are two cancer. They are body eating cancers where them feed my immune system also. Once it starts, it's really hard to get it stopped. You understand? It's different from the flu virus. There is no possible cure that can be found for AIDS or cancer. The only way with AIDS, you have to prevent it by using protection. You understand? There are so many other ways for you to get contact with the AIDS virus, but it's more of a preventative disease where you can prevent it. Cancer, sometimes it can be, that word when I look for, it can be passed down from family members. Hereditary or
Hereditary.
yes, there's no, it depends on the type of cancer you have also. Some can be delayed, where you can actually live and die a natural death with cancer, not dying from cancer, but you're still gonna have the complications. While
Like
some is
prostate.
terminal.
Like prostate.
Okay.
Like
Some
prostate.
is terminal that you can't cure. So it's two total different things. A flu virus, there is a virus to be tested. There is a virus to be reverse engineered so that them can study it, so that them can create a vaccine or some pharma supplement we can like fight it in the meanwhile until them find a vaccine. You understand? And it could be that we are all getting placebos, because placebos do work. It's not a medication, you just think they get the medication. So because at the end of the day, we have powerful minds. Our brain is powerful, and if you tell yourself, so you're going to get cure, you're going to get cure. Sometimes you could be getting placebos also, until there's actually a vaccine. They're not going to tell you that there is no vaccine. That's going to cause a breakdown of society. You understand? And in their eyes, all they want to do is hold society together. They're trying to avoid an uproar. You understand? So it could be placebos, or it could be the basic AstraZeneca, which persons have been getting for ages for the flu. So when they could have a vaccine not created for COVID-19, but it's a flu virus, as we all know. So the AstraZeneca was not created for COVID. AstraZeneca was always here. All right? Yeah, man.
Yes. Yes, bro, Alex. Yes, so it is, my brother.
True, true. So for me, so they open the country back up too fast.
You mean Britain?
Yeah, I think she's referring to Britain.
Okay. Well, you have to balance life with livelihood. That's the two words I would like to add, and they go together. You can't. There can't be an imbalance, because you could have that you close the country and your economy is very difficult to repair. So the balance must be timed. And I think initially the Prime Minister didn't get it right. He didn't. I think he's learned from that, and I give him this. He's now trying to rectify it, because there's a lot of people is for him now, what he's done, because he's balancing both acts together now. and it's
Okay.
starting to reduce. Everything is starting to dampen down now because the vaccine is go. Sorry.
Let me just answer a question, guys. If for those who have just arrived, we have on set today with us Robert Whiteley
Okay.
of the UK. Robert Whiteley is a businessman and a real estate mogul who also has a TV station that's a Destiny Global,
Global.
that UK,
Yes.
Destiny Global, yes. And he's actually a Jamaican person. Most overall, he's a Jamaican. All right, so we're happy to have Mr. Whiteley here with us. As the person was wondering, well, where he's from, where is the guest from? So I'm actually filling in that information. All right, guys. So we're actually having a discussion. We're having a discussion about crime and violence in Jamaica, but we had like moved on. We're actually speaking about COVID-19. It's a basic, as you know, the morning show, guys. We discuss current issues affecting our nation and persons in the diaspora. All right. So yeah, thank you all for joining. It's really a pleasure having you here. If you haven't yet liked the video, remember, you can always like the video. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, you can always subscribe to the channel by clicking the red subscribe button. All right, and share the video so others can see that we're live and they can learn something from the program. Virgo Angel say, I took the vaccine. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you properly. Not
Yes.
loud, but I'm hearing you properly.
Yes, we had moved on because I said that I had the vaccine. We were just discussing in the latter stages about the prime minister whether he opened up the country too early, and I did say that we have to balance life with livelihood, and everything seems to be going in the right direction because the economy is starting to have a kickstart, and one needs that. You know, you can't have an economy that's going to take a lifetime to repair. Because what people have to realize is that where's the money coming from? Because in England, all the businesses have to be paid for being closed.
Wow.
Every business in England is being paid.
You're being paid to stay closed.
Stay closed. Every hairdresser, every shop that you see on the high street, wherever, has been paid to stay closed, and all their employees has been paid.
Where are they getting the money?
Where are they getting the money?
Is
So
it
the
being
government
funded
is
by
printing money. The government is printing money. The budget has just been announced just last week, and they've put in $3 billion, £3 billion just to pay employees. 3 billion.
wow.
So
Where's all of that cash coming from?
Where is it coming from? They're just printing money. So they have to repay for it at some stage. So they have to open up the economy. It cannot continue. It cannot continue like that.
True.
So that's why, just moving on, that's why they're very, very fortunate in getting the vaccine. And as you notice, they've vaccinated over 20 million people already.
Wow. So is it that you're being paid to take the vaccination?
No, you haven't been paid to take the vaccination, but they pay every employee and every business. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just gonna touch a point. Go ahead still.
Yeah, they pay all the employer and the employees for staying at home.
Okay.
They get a check come through the post.
Okay. All right. The reason why I ask that is that when you're gonna pay the businesses to stay closed and the other places are gonna be locked down, and then there's a vaccine involved, it's like, you actually either like the pay where you pay the businesses to lock down, you actually are pay for people to take the vaccine, because knowing that taking the vaccine after a while, well, what you're thinking is that you're gonna be immune to the virus, so things will open up back and all of that. So it's like spending money so that persons will take the vaccine. And persons are saying it's happening in the US also. Persons are being paid to stay home. Businesses are being paid to stay closed.
It's a good point, but they had that policy in because they didn't, obviously, that type of disaster, no one bring it on themselves. So it's a disaster where it's like an insurance package then. And I think it's a very good package because look at countries that don't have that safety net. What has happened to them? You know, at least you have that safety net in these countries. And it's very good because people can get a lump sum to restart their business when their business open, which will be the 12th of April.
Okay, okay. Because
12th of
even in
April,
Jamaica,
a lot of things start opening up.
they had the COVID grant in Jamaica where they would give the residents, when I got the Western Union, it coming like a Christmas a keep. You know, they give them a little chunk change and everybody around it down. And like, I mean, I say like, it not add up. You know, nothing in Jamaica is structured as it is supposed to be structured. We are living under our old system. We can't.
Correct.
We are living under our old system. We run our country with 50,000 people. Now we have almost 8 million, which we think almost 2.8, which we think we have. We feel like
3
a way
million.
more than that. So we
Yeah.
can't believe in a country which is structured to run a minority of people. We have so many persons in the country, you know, and that's one of the next issue again. Nothing in Jamaica is ever.
And how much were they giving the people? Alex?
I'm not sure, you know, honestly, I'm not sure because me never get none, me never join the line. But I go find out. Somebody in the chat could let us know how much money was being given out for the COVID grant, please. I think it's different amount, but yeah, I guess someone is gonna tell us in the chat. Though. Jamaica Yard Life, blessings. Thanks for joining. It's a pleasure having you here. It's been a while since I've seen you on the show. But big up, man, Jay. Shout out. All right, just one announcement, guys. I got information that Jay Says from Jay Says a YouTube channel. That's my friend who you know we do vlogs together. We did 2 collabs together. I just heard this morning that Jay is actually I don't know if well he said it in the group, so I guess it's public information. Persons here know already that he's actually COVID positive. He did the test and he's COVID positive. I'm really sorry to hear that. So peeps, I know I can up over and just something just help Jay get better. You know, sometimes just words can help somebody mind fight the thing. He said it in public, so I guess I'm not impeding on his privacy, you know? Yeah, correct. So yeah, back to what we just said now.
Yes. The COVID, we were talking about the government giving grants for shops, etc., to stay closed. And
the grants. I wanna see. Jamaica Yard Life, Jay, you know how much money them that give away as the grant? AJB. I'm not sure what AJB is referring to. All right, seems the way we're not getting an answer yet still. But,
no, it's all right. We'll continue.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I said we'll just continue. Yeah, they're opening up back the country on the 12th of April. So you find that a lot of people are now preparing to reopen. So everything is going in the direction of being positive. Gyms are being opened, everything. So we just staying positive and hope that we can get to Jamaica soon. That's a good point. What's happening down on the front with tourists? How is the tourist situation? How is the tourist situation during COVID?
The tourist situation, you know, as I was saying the other day, when we were talking, you know, looking at the stats with tourist arrival, I'm seeing we're like close to the regular arrived last year. However, it's more of a tourist arrival. It's not persons who were living, well, not Jamaicans living overseas, just travelers, persons who just travel, who always are travel. It's mostly a tourist arrival, as if you would understand what I mean. Most persons who are from Jamaica, they know Jamaican people stay. Enough people are going to master, no on a plane, nobody don't know, nobody touch them, all of that. So most persons did not return home, which is a sad thing, you know. Because the summer did really nice last year, even though COVID, the sun did nice and all that. We get some wicked rain in St. Thomas, but otherwise from that, the tourist arrival was more like foreigners. You know, Jamaicans were scared to come home, or maybe at the amount of money because there were countries like Cayman, which you have to pay $1,500 fee. That are your hotel fees. So when you go back, you quarantine in a hotel until you go home.
They're doing that here now.
To come to Jamaica.
Yeah, they're doing that here now. Anyone coming back, from a country which is on the red list, they have to go into a hotel and they have to pay for that hotel package. It's around, on average, it's around £1,100. I think that's a lot of money.
Okay. Okay.
That's a lot.
Someone in the comments said she tell us she think it's about $10,000 that persons were getting for the COVID grant.
Okay, 10,000. That can buy you a
Rich
good meal.
Cook. Rich Cook, good morning. My guest is Robert Whiteley from the UK. He's a businessman and real estate mogul. We're discussing crime and violence and the impact of COVID-19 on Jamaica. You know, so yeah, Rich Cook, thanks for joining. All right, back to our conversation.
Yes, so just moving on, Brother Alex, we're looking positively, you know, to April for everything to reopen and for everything to not to get back to normal, because things not going to get back to normal for a while, but at least there's some normality. And this, touching on the point of wearing masks, hardly any Black people here wants to wear it. You know, it's a stigma that they don't associate it with, because who wants to wear masks that you can't even breathe? Carbon dioxide. You're trying to breathe out and you're getting back carbon dioxide. You can't get no oxygen through those masks. And the police here, they were implementing a £500 fine for everybody if you don't have a mask. Can you believe it?
So there are fines for not wearing a mask and all of things seem like
Yes, yes. Usually they use their common sense, but sometimes they'll pick on a lot of people, and you find that they'll pick on a lot of Black people too, as well. That racism still is there, because they have the power and the authority, so they think they can use that to not to arrest, because they can't arrest you, it's not a criminal offense, but at least to exercise their authority on you. You know?
Okay, and honestly, I don't think it's about arresting persons in this time. It's about making money. It's about the revenue that the country can actually make.
Yes.
They're trying. I feel like them people are trying to get back the money. Literally, I get back the money. All of the paper money where people have, them just want to get it back. It wouldn't be surprising if, like, you wake up one morning and hear that the bank is no longer in service.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I think one day that's gonna happen, because the next war we have, as them said, as from observation, it looks true. As if the next war we're gonna have, it's gonna be over water, and then the next war is gonna be a financial war. You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be
always about the important stuff. You know? So so is it 10,000 or monthly 10,000 or just one time 10,000?
Yeah.
So if it's a one-time $10,000 bill, some people cheat the system and get it 4 times, but it's a $1,000 a one-time grant of $10,000. I'm not sure about the amount, but it's a one-time grant. You know. So yes, and that's one of the things that businesses are so hard to be structured in Jamaica, because the same thing I know persons get the COVID grant. You know, some people get it 4 or 5 times. I don't know them do that. You know, them have 5 different names. These are the things make persons look at Jamaica as being like the worst, you know. But
yes.
yeah, Bobby, any closing remarks, like, because we really have to have a next show. We really have to have a formal interview.
Yeah.
Something that can be recorded and can be uploaded both to your channel and mine, so that we can really get the information out there. Because we need more thinking persons, more thinking mind. You know, there are persons in Jamaica who actually they are thinking about strategies to make the country better, but still,
well,
it's when
go on. Sorry.
Yeah, when like you are thinking positive and all of that, thinking about ways you can change your environment, change your community and stuff like that. But then there's another fight, because that person thinking about positivity might be surrounded by negativity. But as I always tell persons, in every negative, there's positive, and the more negative, they are the more positive they have a fight. So yeah, sometimes we just have to try to work around that, you know. So yeah, Thunder Rebel, for real. I'm in the comment section. Thunder Rebel say everybody will receive money, have a pay it back. You know. So yeah, they say Julie Tapper say you can get a ticket for not wearing a mask.
Yeah, you can.
You know.
So
AJB said vaccine will alter your DNA. Well, you know, say every vaccine have to really do something to your DNA to fight a virus. Still, it have to adapt itself. You know, it have to become a part of you, because vaccines are viruses. You know? Yes, for those who didn't know that. You know, it's a virus fight a virus, right?
Hmm.
Always a virus have to fight a virus. Okay, Virgo Angels say they would like to hear more about the real estate situation in Jamaica. Could you give a short rundown as how you what got you into real estate
Real est-
development?
Yes. Well, I got into it very early, you know, when I was in 18 years of age, actually. I was working for a
Okay.
financial company and they did mortgages. So I was an internal financial advisor. And I saw an opportunity. This is way back. I don't want to show my age here, but I'm going way back to the
Okay.
to the 70s when you could
Yeah.
even buy properties with minimum deposit or no deposit. Yeah, one can hardly imagine that now. But I can remember when you had to put down like £500 to buy a house.
Well,
So
500.
yes, in those times, in the 70s.
Wow.
So I took, being a Jamaican, I took advantage of it because you know when we come here, we are hungry, we're rough and ready. Anytime we see an opportunity like that, we have to seize it, you know, because we don't know when the opportunity is coming again. So I acquired around 5 or 6 properties straight away. And then I think, well, I can rent them out and move on. Remember, I was only 18, 19, very, very young. And I had, sorry about that. I had
Yeah,
a
that's
call
okay.
coming out. So, yeah, I rented them out and I had a mentor who was older than me, who was the branch manager, an ex-black guy. And he was doing the same thing. And he says, look, Bob, we can really take this to town, you know. And we ended up owning a restaurant together. And by the time I finished with that company at the age of around 24, I had around 10 houses.
Wow.
And strangely enough, I came to Jamaica after that to buy a place in Stony Hill,
Okay.
you know, and it all started from there. And then we bought a hotel in St. Lucia, a 62-bedroom hotel in 2004. I don't know if you're familiar with St. Lucia.
Okay. Just look at your screen
Can
while
you hear
talking.
me? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm
Sorry.
just listening to you and I'm focusing on the comments. Look at
Can't
your
hear.
screen while talking. They all right. The hotel you're referring to before we go any further, that's in Jamaica,
No,
right?
it's no. Okay. Mm.
No, one of my
Brother
subscribers,
Alex,
Julie Tupper, is saying that you're between 58 and 60 years old. She's trying to guess your age. You know. All right.
can't hear a thing.
Back to that
What's
though.
happened there?
We reach where you were speaking about
Not
the
coming up.
hotel. I'm getting rain in the background. The rain is
No,
getting a
no,
bit
no.
noisy. I'm gonna
We're
have to
having a
take
lot
a
of
short
difficulties.
while.
I'm not hearing you at all.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you properly.
No. Julio, please bring me the charger, no? The battery's going to. You have to be quick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the weather.
So
It's the weather. I can't help
I
that.
don't know
The
what's
rain
happening.
started to fall, so I'm having
The sound is
issue
gone.
hearing. Hold on, let me.
We were in the meat of everything and then the sound is gone.
Are you hearing me now?
Oh gosh.
Are you hearing me now? Let me know if you're hearing me.
I can't hear anything, Al.
You hearing me?
So I don't know what's happened there.
Guys, let me know
The
if you're
voice
hearing me
just
properly.
went.
Let me see if
Let me
it's my
see.
audio or it's the equipment.
Let me see if this is. Sorry.
Look if your phone is turned
No,
down.
no, no. I can't hear a thing.
Okay, they said you're hearing us properly. It's just we're not hearing each other.
The voice have just gone.
Yeah, we're not hearing each other. They're hearing us properly. We are not hearing each other.
The voice
I'm
have
not
just
sure what
the
went
voice.
wrong with
His
the
voice is
audio.
just gone. I can't hear a thing.
You hear me now?
Let me see. No. Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay,
can see them, but I can't
just
hear nothing.
continue as they're hearing you
Oh,
perfect.
yes, sorry. It's just come back, Brother Alex. Can you hear me? No, it's gone
Okay,
again.
simple things. Let Mr. Whiteley know that he can continue because you guys are hearing him. We're just not hearing each other. All right.
Can I continue?
Yeah. You're gonna use the link and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, are you guys hearing me? I'm waiting for Mr. Whiteley to get back here with us, as seems we had an audio issue. Okay, that's what he said. His phone needs charging, Sophie B. Okay, you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
All right, I
sorry.
just had to remove you and bring you back in so that you could hear me. They said
Okay.
that sometimes StreamYard does that, which I'm using StreamYard like the fourth day now, so I'm not really familiarize yourself with it like that yet. So
Okay.
someone was saying your phone needs charging while
Yeah.
peeps. So
Well,
we're
it's good
back.
because
I was
I
saying
have around,
the hotel,
yeah, I'm gonna move. I
that
have around 7 minutes before. How long do you have on the
hold on.
show? Close the door for me. Woman.
Okay, 7 minutes. I'm listening to you on the laptop because I'm not
Okay.
hearing you on the phone. So
Okay.
yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, you say you have 7 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can go for our next 5 minutes. Because
Okay.
we're already in closing time, so we can go for our next 5 minutes. All right.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I was saying that we afterwards we bought a hotel and then we lived there for quite some time. Take it. Can you hear me? One sec. Give me 1 minute. Sorry.
Okay.
It's breaking up all the time. One sec. No, no. I'll be out in 5 minutes though. 1 second. Right.
Okay.
Can you hear me now, Al?
Huh?
Can you hear me now?
I'm not hearing you loud.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm gonna try to listen to you on the laptop.
okay. I was saying that after the hotel, then we stayed there for around 4 years. Then we moved back to England. And after we came back to England, I had a nightclub, and from then I went into restaurants. And from restaurants, then I decided to have a rest in Jamaica. I came to Jamaica and have a rest for around 2 months and decided now I'm at the prime of my life. I must take things a bit easier. So that's when I looked towards the TV station like yourself and just trying to relax and take family life because that is very, very important to me, family life. I have to give thanks to God for so many things because once also I had a serious illness, and I just want to bring this to your listeners to know that they must never give up, whatever it is, because I had prostate cancer as well in 2017, and that is behind me now. And I want to tell anyone that no matter what they're going through, they must look at it and see it's not the end. Nothing is the end. You must always have hope and faith and belief. And first of all, you have to believe in yourself, because no matter what people say about you, you've got to believe in yourself to do anything you want to. And I'm really, happiness is not something that you pursue. I want to say that happiness is something that you attract, and it's the same thing with success. Yes, bro, Alex. You know, are you hearing me?
Something they actually create. You attract it and you can actually create it. It's something that you have to sit down and wait for. Yeah.
I can't
But,
hardly hear.
yeah, it was really a pleasure. It was really a pleasure having you on the show this morning. You know,
And
about some
it's a
really
pleasure being with
interesting
you,
topic.
for you to have me on. And I'm sure that when I'm in there in a couple of weeks, we can do a live interview. Won't be a problem at all. And I want to thank your listeners as well for listening. And I hope that they at least can get some small seed to take away with them. It, so big up and respect. I can't hear you now. And bro Alex, can you hear me?
I've been waiting for this interview for like the last 3 or 4 days ever since we spoke. Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm actually listening to you on the laptop, which is a bit delayed,
Okay.
and
So
speaking on the camera over here.
so big
All
up
right. So
big up
really
your
thank you
guest
for
and
being
everybody
here.
for me.
Appreciate this. Appreciate the support of you being here on the show. Really was looking forward to having you here, and I hope that our audience actually found this morning discussion interesting and they actually learned something which they can pass on to someone else. You understand? And I hope to have you on the show again. As you're saying, whenever time you're in Jamaica, we're gonna do a formal discussion and get that out so we can actually let others person see what like how we look at the situations affecting Jamaica, is it? And see if we can come up with like solutions, even minor solutions as to fix some issues in Jamaica.
Yes, man,
Because saying
definitely.
it, putting it out there, maybe a person, or MP, a politician, somebody will have control of a certain part of the country or certain business of the
Authority.
country. Maybe they could find
Yes.
that as to their betterment, where they could actually get an idea how to solve some issues in the country. Mhm.
When we're there, we'll definitely take them to the task. They will have to listen. We will be part of the changing Jamaica. I don't know if you can hear me. It's breaking up. So, brother Alex, I'm gonna run now. So it's been a pleasure.
Sure. As you notice, we start to have a little bad audio after listen to you and then come over here. Guys, I will invite Mr. Whiteley back on the show whenever it's time of your convenience so we can actually finish. And hopefully we have better audio. We will have better audio because I'm going to get this sorted out like right now about what was the problem and get that fixed so that we could have a better discussion. All right. So thank you again. It was really a pleasure having you here. All right. Yeah, man.
Yes, bro.
Blessings.
Yes, bro, Alex. We talk here. God bless.
All right.
Guidance.
Stay safe.
Guidance.
Yeah, peeps. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It was really a pleasure having you here. Uh, yeah, I started to have an audio issue this morning. It was the same with that I had the same issue I had with when I had Sheldon on. It seems like I had a background up running, so therefore it was killing my audio. I wasn't able to hear Mr. Wiley properly. At some point, I would have heard him, and the next point, the audio would have been out. So I had to be listening on the laptop, which it is a bit delayed. So I have to listen on the laptop and speak on this mic. So, guys, really appreciate you being here, even though this was like, we had a messed up audio. You didn't have any messed up audio, peeps, because you were hearing us properly. That's one of the greatest. All right, but I was having a bit of audio issue where I wouldn't hear what was being said. However, I really appreciate the support, guys. I really appreciate you being here. Well, I give thanks for those who donate to the channel, those who help me to make it very busy. As you know, we're on the road to 100,000, where our voice will get a lot louder, where we can actually, you got like the audio, the second way, is it? So we're gonna have to have Mr. Whiteley back on the show. It's a very, the COVID that you see, this comes in anything having to do with COVID-19. It's gonna be controversial, is it? Yeah, man. So blessings and blessings to everyone that joined us. DJ's Delicious Cooking, Tyra Smith, Jarrett, blessings, God, Garden, Fabian Campbell, big up on yourself, man. Thanks for joining. Thunderable, blessings, Doc 65, blessings, JW, blessings. JW say RIP Bonnie. Leon Hamilton, blessings, thanks for joining. Claudius Over, thanks for joining. Zimmer. Patricia Thompson, thanks for joining. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining, and looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning at 8:30. Sometimes kind of late, 8:30 or sometime early. However, it was really a pleasure this morning. It was a great show. Thank you again, guys. No, Rich Cook, I'm not going to become a talk show host and leave out the content. The fact is, I'm in Kingston at the moment because ever since my little brother passed, I have been in Kingston. I don't really go back at St. Thomas the way there yet. And then I had an accident, so that's really have to wait for the car. That's why I understand. So I'm still in Kingston, and as I told you guys, I will be going around the island. So we still have going around the beach. So yeah, man, look out for that. Yeah, God, I'm gonna do both because what I'm planning to do is 8:30 in the morning show will go on. It will be at this morning, like every morning at 8:30. Unless if there's a delay, it will be either delayed to 9:30 or 10:30, but it will be informed of such delay. Otherwise, from that every morning. And then after that, we'll leave up and you understand? But we've got to have a live show, a link up live show. And that's because we noticed that's how we can get our voices heard across the world, across the diaspora, get our people together, get the knowledge out here, is it? So other persons can know exactly what we are about, what we're doing. Yeah, God, for real. More you have across the river, the more you get, so you just have to focus. And that may be easy. Every obstacle that you overcome makes you more and more. Stand right, blessings, thanks for joining. Blessings again, peeps, and it was a pleasure having you here. And for those who haven't yet subscribed to me, remember to subscribe to the channel. All right, by clicking the red subscribe button and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon so you never miss any upload. All right, so blessings again. From us here at Elite Jamaica, you out there in TV land, just want to say bless for wonderful.